Today will be one of the many videos that we're going to talk about Patriot Viper peripherals, and basically I think it's best to start with keyboards. Today, as I said, we're going to talk about Patriot Viper V760 Mechanical Gaming Keyboard. And what does it have, what kind of specifications, features and all the other important stuff that you should know. Check out the video till the end so you know everything. Okay, so we were talking about Patriot Viper V760 RGB Mechanical Gaming Keyboard, which has a magnetic wrist rest and clack. It doesn't even make a sound. The cool thing about it, I honestly don't like when it's not magnetic, and it's because, I mean, you can realize the difference when you're just placing the magnetic wrist rest here and putting that one that needs 2 clicks and just, you know, attaching it with extra effort. Not necessary, to be honest. Now, when it comes to features of the Patriot Viper V760, you have 5 gaming profiles which you can adjust from F1 to F5. You have lighting controls from F6 to F11, and on F12 you have, well, it's basically also for the lighting control. You have a USB pass-through port at the back, which gives you the idea why you have 2 USBs to connect to your computer. The whole top chassis is aircraft grade aluminum chassis basically, and these switches are 100% Kailh Mechanical Brown switches. You have 104 programmable macro buttons, 104 key rollover anti-ghosting, and full spectrum RGB 16.8 million colors for individually customizable backlight keys. You can adjust basically anything, and this is really cool with keyboard having the FN button and having the different memory profiles. You have F6 to F11 for the RGB, as I already said, gaming mode on print screen, record, the type recording. You have the possibility to adjust the brightness, and you have even the multimedia keys from number 1 to number 6. Now, when we're talking about the clicks, the sound of the clicks of this switch, I have to say they are a bit quieter than the standard Cherry MX. But after all, there are definitely quieter switches than these ones. I wouldn't say this as a negative, of course. I mean, I really like the sound, without a doubt, and you can hear it right now. Now, when we're talking about the switch, as I said, Kailh Brown switches, which have 45 grams of actuation force, 2 mm actuation distance, and 4 mm complete distance from the press to the bottom. It has the standard MX theme, and the feel is tactile. As for the typing, as you heard, it's really cool and it's not loud. They do make a nice sound, but nothing irritating that you would basically take into consideration not buying this keyboard. When we're talking about the material and the whole keyboard, it is a bit heavier, but that gives you a complete reason why it's aluminum aircraft grade top chassis. The bottom is plastic, and the cable is braided, as you can see, in black and red, and it's pretty thick just because you have 2 USB cables going out, just because of the USB pass-through. Above the arrow keys you have the Patriot Viper logo, so just Viper right here with red letters, and above the numerical pad you have, and above the numerical keys you have the numlock, caps lock and screw lock indication lights. The whole design is basically black and silver with complete black wrist rest, which has some sort of a black, really soft material. It's not with memory foam or anything like that. It's plastic beneath, but it's kind of soft material, which also leaves fingerprints. Definitely, actually it doesn't. It does a bit, with Patriot Viper logo on the far right bottom side. The bottom part of the wrist rest has 6 rubber feet, so it kind of keeps the wrist rest also stable on the table. And the keyboard, when it comes to keyboard and the bottom part, we have 5 rubber feet, with additionally adding 2 more. Well, basically you're removing the top ones and adding 2 new ones, with the height adjustment legs at the back of the keyboard. Nothing spectacular at the back side, it's just plain plastic with the name and the model number of the keyboard. Talking about gaming writing or anything similar to that on this keyboard, I would say that it's pretty nice to have the wrist rest. Otherwise the keyboard is far away from the table, so you do have to type something like this. As you can see from the close-up, my palm is basically at the table, and I do have to push my fingers way up if I want to go to 1, 2, 3 or W, A, S and D for gaming, for instance. But when you place the wrist rest here, you kind of lose the distance from the table and from the chassis of the keyboard. Then it makes a more natural position for your hand, which you can write and game normally without any problems. Basically you adjust to the typing and gaming really quickly with the wrist rest. As I said, when you remove the wrist rest, you get a bit too much height of the table from the keyboard. Then we have the RGB. The RGB is really nice. The illumination comes from the top part of the switch, basically the top side of the switch, and that is also why you have all the letters and all the signatures lighten up on the top side and also engraved on the top side. The bottom sides on the keycaps are of course lower on the keycaps, so for instance you have the F1 and then you have memory profile 1. It's a bit not that lit up as the top part, since the switch is blocking the light directly to the bottom part of the key. But overall, really like the switches. The Kailh Brown switches are really nice. The sound is really cool. There's nothing too loud or too irritating on them. And 2mm, I would say that's quite alright for the actuation. Distance, actuation force is just to my liking, so 45 grams. That is nice. The tactile feel is really cool. I'm kinda used to it, so yeah, that's okay. And basically, that's all there is to it. I do have to say also that the RGB lights kind of reflect from the aluminium chassis, the top part, and kind of make a really nice effect. So guys, yeah, I mean, this is it. It's a really cool keyboard. Don't use it without the wrist rest. You'll get a strange position on your hand, but I wouldn't say that's anything bad. If you already have similar keyboard, I would say this is just quite alright. So guys, yeah, link for the Patriot Viper V760 RGB Mechanical Keyboard is down below, so you can check it out. And that's all there is to it. If you like the video, don't forget to press the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you already didn't, and see you in another one, because I have loads more Patriot Viper peripherals for you guys. Bye bye.